Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome to another FFXIV video. Today we're going over my Gather Melds for the Indigators set. Now before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that you don't want to fully meld your gear just yet, since we do not know the breakpoints for the new nodes in 6.4. All I would recommend doing is make sure that you meld your gear to bypass your old. Okay, we will be getting the relic tools in 6.35, so if you guys don't want to meld your main hand tool, you guys can use the relic ones instead. Okay, so you want to leave some slots open, this way you guys can make adjustments in 6.4. So right now my tool has perception 10, a 2, perception 9s, and a GP 9. My offhand, not completely melded, has a perception 10, and a perception 9. The head, 2 perceptions 10, a GP 10, and 2 gatherer 9s. For my body, 2 perception 10s, a gatherer 10, and 2 gatherer 9s. For the hands, a perception 10, a gatherer 10, a gatherer 10, and a perception and gathering 9. For the legs, you can cap out your gathering. So I have a gathering 10, perception 10, a gathering 10, a gathering 9, and a perception 4. I believe that's also capping out your perception as well. For the feet, I have a perception 10, a GP 10, a perception 9, and a gatherer 4. Now my accessories has a GP 10, gatherer 10, perception 9, and a GP of 7. Necklace, a GP 10, gatherer 10, perception 9. The wrist, GP 10, perception 10, gatherer 9, and capping out the GP with a 9, but you only need 7. So whatever you have available to you. And the rings are melded the same. GP 10, perception 10, and a perception 9. Now, with these melds in my stats, I can easily hit the characteristics for the current gatherable materials, and also for the collectibles for the Aether Sands. With this perception, I'm only hitting 5 for the Glio Ether nodes, so it's not exactly best for that, but those ones are pretty useless because, well, the outer fountain, I found out doesn't really sell too well on my server, so I don't really bother with those. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go test this out on a legendary node, and I'll show you guys exactly how much you're going to be getting for Gatherer's Boon, and of course the gathering rate. Alright, so here we are at the node in Garlemald. So the characteristics is 3800 perception to get Gatherer's Boon plus 30%, and 3590 gathering for the gather yield plus 2, and 850 for the gathering at 10 plus 1. So with my perception, I have 67% chance of getting Gatherer's Boon. So with Mountaineer's Gift 2, it's 97%, and number 1, it is 100%. And then you can just go ahead and do Nulthal's Tidings to get yourself an extra 2 when you gather. To get 5 per, and you can save your GP. So next, we are going to be going over to the prime items, which is the current ones for the new Glio Ether, which is going to be on the moon, right about here. And I'll show you guys the rotation and all that stuff to get it with the Indagator gear. Alright, so here we are on the moon at 8 p.m. to do the new items for the Glio Ether, which is going to be the prime right here. So you need 3850 perception to just be able to gather this. Okay, so we do have a max GP of 850, so we get 2 gathering extra attempts and Gatherer's Boon 30%, but that doesn't matter on the prime stuff, just the gathering attempts. Okay, so with my 48 perception, I'm able to hit 100% on Scour and Meticulous. My intuition rate is 40%, and my Meticulous proc effect is also at 20%. If you use the cookies, you give extra 101 perception. Alright, so for these, basic rotation, scrutiny, collector's focus, and then meticulous. Hopefully you'll get the proc, but I didn't get it. Still didn't get it. So for the last one, do scour to get it up. If you hear that twice on meticulous, then you should get it 100% in 2 shots. So I'm only getting 5% sublime rate, which is not great, but it's not bad. I think the highest I think you can get is like 10 or so. So drain it a bit, and then you're going to use your Solid Reason or Age of Swords to get a Gathering Intent back. And hopefully Eureka Moment procs, which it did. So Wise to the World, and gather 3 more. There it is, got one. Very nice. So you can get the Glio Ethers or the pure Glio Ethers regardless if you don't get Sublime or not, but 100% drop rate on Sublime. So let's do the other ones first. You will get Lightning. You can get a bonus with the Glio Ethers as well, if you're really lucky. But these are just for the outer fountains for your housing. And the last one. And I only got one pure Glio Ether for minor, but it is what it is. But yeah, with my stats, you can get about 5%. With a little bit more perception, or a hell of a lot more perception, you can get up to at least 10. But because those are not very high in demand, I don't care for them very much. But for the other materials, you guys can get 5 or even more if you're using your King's Yield 2 or whatever your botanist equivalent is. You actually can get like 7 or 8 or 9 if you're going for the legendary node items. But other than that, this is what my melds can help do for me. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new for more Final Fantasy XIV content, and join the First Brood. If you guys want to join my Discord server, the link will be in the about section down below. If you guys want to support me monetarily, I do have YouTube memberships available. Both are completely optional. So until next time, may you forever walk in the glorious light of Lord Bahamut, and always remember to keep forging ahead. And if you're melding, good luck.